Second only to the health crisis caused by the coronavirus outbreak, global economies are also facing a major economic recession brought on by the lockdown. Eurozone finance ministers have failed on how to agree to share the financial burden of the downturn. That was after a 7-hour meeting on Tuesday that appears to only highlight the deep divisions threatening to undermine the bloc's response. Hermione G has more.
Up to €240 billion in loans from the Eurozone's bailout fund could be put in place to help tackle the coronavirus crisis. That's just one of the measures being discussed by EU finance ministers, who've been tasked with coming up with some concrete financial proposals. So far, there's been a patchwork response from European governments and a growing rift between northern and southern states over the stimulus package.
Today, I will also call on ministers to make a clear commitment for a coordinated and sizable recovery plan. We all know this is not time for business-as-usual politics. We must show our citizens that Europe protects them. For them, we must stand tall.
The three-pillar aid package also provides short-term credit to keep companies afloat and people in work. The EU has also suspended limits on government deficits and antitrust rules against governments supporting their own companies. Yet the package would not cover the €1 trillion or more in public debt that could be created by the predicted recession.
Shona Murray is following the talks, our correspondent, and she's in Dublin for us. Morning, Shona. So we've just had the news that this meeting appears to have ended in disagreement. No consensus on what to do. What did they discuss and what has come of the meeting, if anything?
Yes, Rosie, extremely disappointing, I'm sure, for those in member states who are struggling about finding how they're going to solve this issue from a financial point of view. At least we just heard there from Mario Centino, who's the president of the Eurogroup, who says that after 16 hours of a Zoom teleconference, finance ministers have failed to come up with a solution. Before going into that meeting, he tweeted saying that whatever happened, it'd have to be a bold and ambitious financial solution to help the member states deal with this financial crisis, the fallout of this financial crisis. Now, going in, there had been some hope that finance ministers could find a way of modernising the European Stability Mechanism, the ESM, to give loans to struggling member states, cheap loans at low interest rates with low conditionality. Added to that, loans for certain businesses, small and medium businesses from the European Investment Bank, and also the use of the European Commission's SURE fund, which is a €100 billion fund that would help mitigate against, the unemployment, the huge unemployment fallout. But it seems that this wasn't enough. In fact, what I've heard is that the Italian side was still insisting on it, this idea of the Coronabond in some format, essentially that the European Union would mutualise its risk and its debt. So one country would borrow money and the rest of the European Union would back it up. But the deep old-term divisions of the profligate South versus the fiscally responsible North re-emerged. And again, just really much more tension came out of this 16-hour meeting than any solution. So incredibly disappointing. But Mario Centino, the president of the Eurogroup, saying that they will continue the talks tomorrow.
Shona, thank you very much, our correspondent in Dublin.